There are two things that people love. In fact, they crave. Getting away from it all at a great destination and being there with friends and family. But actually, getting that to happen can be a challenge. Consider these ladies from Philadelphia. They all work long hours in their jobs. One of them, the matriarch Bonnie, is still working full-time at age 70. And they're all very good at what they do. But it seems their kids decided they were all working a little too hard. So they entered a travel contest put on by Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
We are begging you to give the women of our family this trip to Hilton Head.
Since they work so much at work, at home, on the go, they've lost the idea of what a real vacation is.
Don't believe us?
Hold on my calls. It's time for me to do the backstroke.
So see, because they work so hard, they don't know what a real vacation is. And if we give them one, that'd be one of the best gifts we could give them.
Well, as you may have already concluded,
Hey, what are you looking at?
they won. And 5 moms, 4 kids, and 1 grandmother came to Hilton Head Island for a mother-daughter getaway week. This is the story of what happened on that fabulous rescue vacation, and how Hilton Head Island is about a lot more than the tennis and golf it's famous for. Amazing things can happen when mothers and daughters are getting away together.
Getting away together is made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic.
Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
Hey, you. Where's your smartphone? Don't you have an important meeting or something? Big shot like you? No? Well, you're meeting with a sea creature now. And I'm very proud of you. Welcome to the island, my friend.
In this group of Philadelphia girls, Kelly is the planner-scheduler. That's actually her real job at a big pipeline company. So she was able to find the perfect location for this mother-daughter getaway right on the beach at Hilton Head Island.
Devin, my niece, she was the one who really instigated all of this. And my daughter Elizabeth, she was right along with her. I think they really noticed that we are always on our Blackberries, we're always on the computer, we're always running around. We don't seem to have that time that we can spend with them. She really talked us into it, and we did our research, went online, we found Hilton Head and this beautiful home.
Look at this neighborhood. No, that's not it. No.
This trip that we're going on, we have my mother, Mimi. We all call her Mimi.
And her 2 daughters are Chris and Kelly. I became friends with Chris actually first. Chris's daughter Devin is here. Kelly's daughter Elizabeth is here. And then we have Chris's neighbor Linda, and she has 2 children who are Kelly and Courtney.
And although we've lived next door to each other for 13 years, we've never really had an opportunity to be together as a group.
And we have our friends Joan, which we call Miss Joan. She's a friend and like a sister to us. And also Dottie, the same thing, where she is like a sister to us and a daughter to my mother.
And now we're here as one family.
Oh, I think we're close. Oh my goodness. Yes. Is that it?
We were just so excited, and we were all chattering 1,000 words a minute. And then we finally got into the development here, and we found the house.
We pulled up, and I'm telling you, pictures do not do this place justice. It was unbelievable.
Beyond our wildest imagination.
I thought we were going to trip each other, kill each other coming up the steps trying to get in here first.
We're dragging all our suitcases out. We just go running up inside, and the girls, I mean, they were probably 20 steps ahead of us already.
We came in and we were like rushing about, like, hey, who's getting what? The children were the most excited. And we were running to one end. I could hear the kids upstairs. I heard bouncing on beds. I heard screaming. I heard everything. Footsteps just tromping up and down the steps. It was.
Girls, you have to see this. Come here. Let's go. You have to come here.
Some people call it mayhem. We called it like excitement. It was great.
I don't usually, if we're ever anywhere, I don't pick out my room or anything. I just usually just get assigned to it because I basically can kind of move along with the crowd. But all of a sudden, they bring me upstairs and Devin says,
You see this room? This room is going to be yours, Mimi. We insist on it. I'll see you in a minute.
We want you to have this because we always know that you put us first, and it would be nice that you can have your space alone.
Daddy, come here. Look at this.
We were out on the porch just looking out on the view.
It was like the ocean was calling to us.
We just said, let's go. We gotta go.
Everybody, look at this. Isn't it beautiful?
We came down here, and as ladylike as we could be in all our crazy and excitement, we went rushing right down the walkway and to the beach.
Everybody was screaming and we all hugged each other. It was amazing. And it was like, hey, we're here. Now is the time that the vacation starts and we are gonna have the time of our life.
Hilton Head is a barrier island on the coast of South Carolina in Beaufort County. It's about 20 miles north of Savannah, Georgia, and 95 miles south of Charleston. The island gets its name from sea captain William Hilton, who named the place after himself in 1663. The island brags of 12 miles of beautiful beachfront on the Atlantic and is most famous for its world-class golf tournaments and is equally known for tennis. But what really separates Hilton Head Island from every other coastal community is that it was the absolute father of environmentally sensitive resort development. In the 1950s, a man named Charles Frazier envisioned a resort community that would keep out the environmental chaos that seemed to always follow tourism. More than a half a century later, Hilton Head Island is the benchmark for every resort community up and down the East Coast.
Hey girls, how are ya?
Honestly, our mothers and daughters are neither avid golfers nor tennis players, so how is Hilton Head going to talk them into turning off their cell phones?
We went out on a catamaran while we were here at Hilton Head and did a bottlenose dolphin tour.
Welcome aboard. Watch
aboard.
your step.
Without a doubt, the best way to begin the de-stressing on this vacation can be found on the calm waters of the Calabogie Sound, aboard the Pauhana catamaran.
With Captain John and Jeannie, his wife, and Captain Rick. For me, that was the best experience out of all this. That was the thing that I loved the most.
Pauhana means quit work in Hawaiian. Sounds like what these ladies are looking for.
It was fabulous. First of all, Jeannie, she is so passionate about everything that she does there on the Pauhana.
The salt water comes in, it actually goes down through the marshes, goes down through the ground.
She knows her stuff. It's like standing there talking to a professor who knows everything about the ocean. It's like an oceanographer right there at your disposal.
It's your first time out sailing?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's real easy. Just keep your hands on the wheel and hold it real steady.
He's up there steering the boat. Who wants to come up? A couple people had gone up and they just had the honor of doing that.
That's good.
He has the dual diesel engines, and they go on, and you hear the horsepower, you hear the rumble, and you feel the power, and you move, and then he shuts it down. You just hear like this calm peacefulness, like of the waves and the birds behind you, the seagulls.
It was beautiful, and it was so quiet. on the catamaran. And I think that's really the way to experience the dolphin watch, to experience it with that quiet. Because once we saw the spotted the dolphins.
Oh, look, is that one right there? Yeah. Is that right by the green post there, maybe? How graceful they are.
Everybody became quiet, and we were just enjoying the sight and the sounds of the dolphins breaching the water. I've never seen dolphins like that in the wild, up close. And to be able to share that with my daughter, it filled my heart. I just love that, being able to experience that with my daughter.
They were playing some music on our way back on the catamaran, and the girls started a Congo line. Moms, daughters, everybody was in this Congo line. Even my mom, was in this Congo line doing the dance.
I don't know how they knew to do that because they are too young to remember a Congo line, but they were doing it.
And go! Perfect!
A kind of interesting fact about Hilton Head Island is that of all the famous harbor villages of America, like Cape Cod or Mystic Seaport, probably more people can identify a picture of this one quicker than any other. In fact, it's pretty much become the trademark of Hilton Head itself.
Welcome to the lighthouse.
In the heart of his Sea Pines resort development, Charles Fraser envisioned an intimate harbor village, so he set about building Harbor Town from scratch. In 1969, he began construction of this 8-sided lighthouse, and his critics soon dubbed it Fraser's Folly. Within a decade, though, this not really a real lighthouse was acclaimed a stroke of genius. It didn't hurt that it was then seen on 100 national golf telecasts. And the fact that the lighthouse is also a fun museum of the history and culture of Hilton Head sort of made this the little lighthouse that could.
And we're up at the top, and we were down there at the bottom, yes, and doing our waving and yelling back and forth. Meanwhile, of course, the ladies, we all like to look at the shops, go in and out of the shops.
Harbor Town is also home to more than 24 boutiques, galleries, and gift shops. One of these shops, Harbor Town Crafts, has been here since the village first opened.
There were so many things there to offer, some nautical things, some things that are local. There was wine inside.
The labels are done here on the island. The wine is vented here at Island Winery.
Hi, ladies, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to the store. Hey, have you had a chance to try our famous willow shortbread? We sell cases and cases of it at Christmas for Christmas gifts.
And it seemed like all local artists, artisans. And in there, I did find the pine needle basket from a local artisan.
That is beautiful. This is pine needle art. This woman makes this all from hand. I mean, how she does it, I don't know, because wow, this is stuff that, I find in my front yard, and here this woman is making art out of it.
It was just beautiful.
Wow, look at the parasailers.
Oh, where?
Right over there. Let's see if we can get to do that.
At the Harbor Town Marina, there are all kinds of amped up ocean adventures.
And when you come up, you're going to come up these steps. You're going to step underneath the chute.
These guys are from H2O Water Sports. They're all Coast Guard licensed, but you'd swear they're all frustrated carnival ride operators. They're just having way too much fun.
This is not dangerous, but it's absolutely the worst wedgie you've ever had in your life. We just leave that the way it is.
All right, girls, you're going to hold on just below these metal clips, just like...
When we went parasailing, my daughter, this was the first time that she'd ever went parasailing, so I was a little skeptical that she was actually going to go through with it. But she loves roller coasters, so she figured, what the heck, she's going to give it a shot.
Bye, Ray! Looking good.
For those kids to experience that at this age, it was worth it because I loved watching the expressions from them.
She loved it. We did a tandem parasailing, so it was myself and my friend Joan.
Now that island we were talking about? I think so, yeah.
I had done it once before in Punta Cana, but there were so many other boats around and people around. It just wasn't the same type of experience. Whereas here in Hilton Head, the quiet, and there weren't many boats around or people around on the beaches or anything. It was just a whole different experience.
Kel is more adventurous than I am. She's willing to try things. She's kind of she can live with her feet off the ground. That's why one of the things that I did this week, I knew probably surprised my daughter and was my favorite thing, was jet skiing. It was a little scary because I had never been on one. She said, "Mom, I'll drive. And I'm like, no, I want to try it. I know she'll remember that because Mom's not the one who usually does the crazy things. Mom's the one who's usually serious and everybody gets their homework done and there's a schedule and there's things. So that was a way for Mom to let her hair down.
Hilton Head Island offers some 14 miles of open beach, most of it right on the Atlantic. The beaches slope very gradually, and the sand below the mid-tide line is usually hard-packed and great for a sunset bike ride.
When I think about the bicycling on the beach that we did, I know I have never done that before, and I think the majority of us had never done that before.
So I said, let's go, and we all went. We all had this combined effort. We're gonna do this and we're gonna love it. And we went out, it was low tide. We were able to ride where the sand was nice and hard. The waves were just coming in to meet the sand, and we stayed on a straight line down, and we just kept going and going. It was almost like endless.
It really is like a private beach. You don't have to fight for a spot, put down your chair, your beach towel, and it was a lot of fun. I love those beach bikes.
The town of Hilton Head Island actually owns nearly 1,000 acres of property it has set aside to preserve the area's natural beauty. The Coastal Discovery Museum is part of that. It consists of 68 acres of salt marshes, open fields, and century-old live oaks. Its mission is to celebrate the culture, heritage, and nature of the Low Country of South Carolina.
Well, good morning. Come on down to the dock.
It's open all year round, and wonderful volunteers are there to interpret the surroundings.
And what we have here is a baited blue crab trap. We bait it with chicken necks, and we just toss it into the creek, and then the key is, does anything come in? And what do we have? Shall we pull it up?
Yes, let's pull it up and see.
They'll tell you that a lot of folks never stop to figure out where those crab cake sandwiches come from, but around here, it's from these salt marshes.
Yeah, we got to hold the crabs, look at them. You know, they gave us some information as far as, their molting and how they walk and defend themselves. And we thought, oh, this is really nice. And then that was the end of that. But then...
This is the best part. Look at this.
We got to sample the cooked crab.
First, we take off the claws and all the legs.
They taught us how to actually pick the crab apart, get to the sweet meat inside, and I've never done that before, so that was a new experience. It really was delicious because those were fresh crabs. Right then and there, they had cooked them.
Man, delicious. Was it good? Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's okay, I didn't take it all the way in.
This is called sweetgrass basket making. It's actually an art form that was brought from West Africa.
At Coastal Discovery Museum, you can meet some of the most fascinating people on Hilton Head Island. The Gullah people are the descendants of enslaved African Americans who came here from the western Sierra Leone part of Africa in the 1700s.
Gallus and night, you should feel good out there today. You feel a breeze coming off the water.
I feel a breeze.
Yeah, man.
They speak their own language, use African names, tell African folk tales, and make African handcrafts like these coiled straw baskets from what they call sweetgrass. Michael Smalls and Doris Niles are 7th generation basket weavers.
A lot of people consider this weaving, but it's actually sewing, because as you can see, we go in between each stitch.
There's only a few hundred artisans left who actually know how to do these baskets.
When you hear that sound, then you know your basket is tight.
It's truly amazing what they can do with their hands and the kind of artwork that they produce and the hours that they put into the detail of what it takes to make that.
When the slaves were brought over to the Low Country, they created a language so the slave masters couldn't understand what they were saying.
It was really nice. It was a teaching experience, and this was a great time for them to be able to really enjoy learning something. Even though they're learning, it's also a fun experience as well.
Actually, this
Because of their geographical isolation and strong community life, the Gullah have been able to preserve more of their African heritage than any other group of Black Americans. When the girls were looking for an authentic low-country dining spot, a tip from friendly locals pointed them towards Skull Creek Boathouse.
We thought it would be great for just like the older girls to have our time.
The girls said, no, we want to come too. We do. We want to come and come to the restaurant.
And it was our family vacation, so we thought, you know what, this is great. So they glamored up a little bit, made themselves look a little bit grown up.
And you know what? To look at them, you start seeing them as the older. These aren't our little girls anymore, that these are young women.
I look at, a couple of them, I'm like, I held you kids when you were babies, and now you're like almost as tall as I am and wearing makeup. Where's the time go? And this is what gives us the option to slow down and actually see that.
Skull Creek Boathouse is located on the Intracoastal Waterway on the site of a historic marina that used to be the largest dry dock for boats on Hilton Head Island. Since the 1980s, it's been the place to go if you yourself were dry or just wanted some really amazing low-country seafood.
The food presentation at the boathouse was amazing. I am not a foodie like my sister is, so to see those food plates coming out, it was like artwork.
You had lobster, you had the crab, you had the oysters, you had the clams, you had tuna, you had everything that you could even want put out front, even for the kids that, were more geared toward like even the salsa and chips.
After a while, it was like, is there more? I can't believe that there's more here. And it was amazing.
How we going down there?
I think the most surprise to me was seeing the girls and all of us, the different age generations kind of coming together and eating together, sharing a meal together.
And there they were gracious, there was no bickering, there was no talking loudly, they were all in their own spirit, and they just were mini us. They were mini us.
Look, girls, look. Look at the sunset.
Oh, my.
Beautiful.
We don't have them at home.
Inspired by their foodie experience the night before, the moms and daughters invited long-term Hilton Head resident Linda Lanier to give them some tips on traditional low-country cooking. Linda and her partner Susie are local party planners extraordinaire.
Well, they say that the 4 basic food groups of Southern cooking are sugar, flour, grease, and whiskey.
If you want to get into a pretty good argument around here, ask someone what their definition is of low-country cuisine. Most will agree that it's different than just saying Southern food.
The Low Country is the area between Charleston, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia. We have our own food, which we're having here today.
Linda was great. She came in to cook for us. She made sauteed crab, which was excellent. She put a little bit of her secret seasoning in there.
Mother Nature builds in flavors.
Yes.
She made us okra, which was also sauteed.
I don't think it can be overcooked. I personally like it almost.
Do you like it crispy?
Yeah, I love it like that.
She made us grits, and she actually put the sauteed crab meat in the grits, which was fabulous. You don't have that in Philadelphia. And she also made caramelized Vidalia onions, and the drippings from the onions create the caramelized sauce. Everything was just fabulous. Girls. I just wanted to say one thing. I wanted to get your attention. I wanted to just take a moment on behalf of all of us and thank the 4 of you wonderful young ladies for making us do this. It has been parasailing and jet skiing and catamaraning, and we have had a wonderful time on this journey, and it's fantastic memories. Thank you, and I hope we can do it every year. You've been great.
Every year. Staying in a vacation house with people that you know and love, and your friends and your family, it's a lot different being in a home together.
I felt like I was walking into a home. It wasn't a rental home, it was the home that we were, coming home to. We took out our key and unlocked our door, and it was like, oh, we're home.
So it's a really different experience. It's more like a family experience, I think.
My mother, who we all call Mimi, she always says to us, and life has its ups and downs, and some are lower than others, but whenever we are going through things, she always ends up by saying,
think of it as jelly side up. When you put that jelly on the bread and it falls on the ground, You know, some people say, oh, it's always going to fall down on the ground with a jelly down. Not our family, it lands jelly side up.
We always end jelly side up. We all know that we're here for each other no matter what. We know that we've come through those tough times, and here we are, and it made us the people that we are today.
At a time when people seem to be putting off all non-essential travel, researchers are telling us that women-only holidays are booming. And you know what? This could be a modern version of one of the oldest biological truths. Women tend to each other. These moms and daughters more than live up to their family responsibilities, but they also understand on a deep level that taking care of each other isn't selfish. It's about self-preservation. Maybe that's another reason they always land jelly side up, and why this won't be the last time we'll see them getting away together.
If you'd like to know more about the people, places, and activities featured in this or any other episode of Getting Away Together, log on to gettingawaytogether.com. That's gettingawaytogether.com.
Our travelers tell us one of the big advantages of a vacation rental is having access to a kitchen. First, if you want to act like a local, shop and eat like one. Go to the farmer's market, get whatever happens to be fresh and in season, bring it home with you. Second, and this one's a big one, cost savings. If you eat at home instead of in a restaurant, you can't help but save money, especially if you've got kids. But the best reason is having a kitchen lets you get your whole group together around a table. If any of this sounds important to you, make sure you check out the kitchen details the next time you're researching a vacation rental online.
Getting Away Together was made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic. Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
Hey, you. Where's your smartphone? Don't you have an important meeting or something? Big shot like you? No? Well, you're meeting with a sea creature now. And I'm very proud of you. Welcome to the island, my friend.